Hello everyone, hope you're all well. I've had a couple of messages from people regarding this journal that I've finished recently and just asking if I could do a little bit of a flip through, but to be fair, I haven't filled it. This one is actually empty and ready to be filled by someone else, but I said I would do just talk through the cover and things like that. So basically this one is another obviously antique lace, because that's something that I work with. I only really tend to do journals that have got lace. I am addicted to lace, so that's why all my journals end up, this way, covered in lace. Because I collect it as well. So this one, this image on the front is from a Victorian album. I just lifted that image a while ago and fell in love with it. And it was just one of those things when you get a feeling for something, and I just decided that it would look nice on the front of a journal. And what I've done is I've used some Victorian paper lace. This is the kind of thing they used on their love token cards to each other. Back in the Victorian times, because obviously they didn't have card shops, so they used to make their own cards. So I framed it with the paper lace, and I have put on lots of lace on the cover as well. I tend to start not with the lace that I want to show, but I start with older lace, because if you ever, I don't know if you've ever come across really old lace, and it's almost so delicate it wants to disintegrate as you're touching it. It's almost like it can pull it apart a bit like cotton wool. And when I want to build a textured, layered journal, I like to cover underneath with the textured, damaged lace to build up, the layers, and then I put the display lace on the top of that. So that's what I've done underneath all of these pieces of lace, and it almost creates a lovely cushioned, I suppose you could actually put anything under there, sort of foam or cushion insert fabric, so that you've got sort of a softer touch underneath the very delicate lace, because obviously this is quite fine, so on its own it would feel quite sort of hard, but it just gives it a little bit more texture underneath. So on the back of this journal, I put this piece of lace is from a dress panel. I think it was in some French lace. So I think this is part of a bodice, which is quite pretty. And I've put this brooch. It's kind of one of my signature things on my journals. I always like to put something on the spine, whether it's a tassel or a brooch. There's usually some jewellery somewhere, or even hat pins I've put in the back of the journals before now. I just think it sort of gives it a little bit more of an edge. I just felt that needed to be there on this one. The back cover again is part of our antique dress panel. I quite liked it because it's got the texture as well. It's pretty lace, so, and it just seemed to fix. I wanted the colours to be very, sort of muted and soft. I know that a lot of people like to dye lace, and I absolutely, commend them, because I wouldn't know. I think I would get it wrong, and so I actually like to have the natural tones of the lace that's aged the way it has. So this is the closure on this one, is actually antique lace, and so basically it's just to tie it in a bow, keeps it all closed, and it's also fitted in the edges of the journal, which, so again, someone's asked me how to do the closures like these, and it's really a lot more simple than you think, and I will do a tutorial on that so you can see how that works, because also I want to do a tutorial on the buckle closure as well, because I know, again, that's something that everyone's been really curious to know how to do, and again, that's another quite a straightforward thing to do. So this journal, I've done 4 signatures in this one. This is hand dyed paper, just with coffee. It does smell really nice actually. And vintage music sheets. I've left a little bit of space in there so that, you know, whoever owns this journal, they can then get some bits and pieces in here without it straining to close, because obviously that's not ideal if you've got too many things in there. But also, you know, when you've got a closure like this, it's a lot more forgiving than a buckle closure, because if you think about it, you know, you are stuck with a regimented potential buckle that's just going to do this and that's it. Whereas, you know, with something like this, you know, if you fill this journal and it opens up, you're still left with quite a lot of, you know, lace. So you can have this as closed or as open as you like. So it's a lot more forgiving. So, you know, that's another reason why these closures I think are quite popular, because, you know, sometimes people do like to fill the journals up with lots of gorgeous bits and pieces and they end up, you know, not being able to close, you know, fully, so that they sit open like this. But they do look nice when they're on display. A lot of people do like to just have them because when you sit them in a certain way, you can see the pages. You can tie them in bow. You can just literally sit them any way you like. I know some people do collect journals, you know, and I think if I didn't sell mine, I probably would have, I don't know, maybe 30 by now, but I do sell them. So they're usually in my shop, which is Lace and Linen Designs, and the links are in the below the video. So I hope you like this journal, and if you've got any questions, then you can message me through Instagram, because my Instagram link is there as well. And then I will make, like I say, another tutorial so that you can see how to attach these closures and how to do a buckle closure. Oh, and another thing I just wanted to mention is when you're working with this kind of lace, I had someone ask me a question, because obviously the glues you know, that you use for fabric, there's so many different kinds out there. I personally like to use the Fabri-Tac, and this one, you can get this everywhere, online, eBay, wherever, Hobbycraft stores. It is a little bit more expensive than other fabric glues, but for me this is my favorite one, because when you're working with very delicate laces, I like to use this because it doesn't saturate the lace, and so you can get a nice clean look by using that fabric glue, and it is my favorite one. So that's, if you haven't tried this one, definitely give that a go if you're working with a mixed medium with lace, because that's actually a really good one. Okay, so that's all there is for today, and I will hopefully create a new video for you soon. So thank you for watching. Take care. Bye.